Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video. My name is Brodes. Today I have development update number 4 for you guys on my upcoming map Liberty Town, which is a crossover between Liberty Falls and Town from Black Ops 2. So for those of you who have been following the, progression of this map, I do have a little bit of a shorter update for you today, although 2 significant sort of additions to the map. So we are going to be showcasing those here in just a moment for you. And these changes are live already. So for those of you who are accessing the map early through Patreon, these changes are currently live and ready to use, albeit, you know, over time or within time, these features will be adjusted accordingly to what I want them to be within like the full map. So I'll talk about that a little bit more as we get to it. But yeah, let's just dive right in. All right, so the first change that I want to discuss here, and just to sort of as a prerequisite, I guess, I just want to thank in advance Ragin. So Ragin has done the two additions to this map. I want to thank him once again for the hard work he's put into it. Everything's turned out really good. But the first thing I want to showcase here is the jet gun. So we're going to pull that out. Okay, or otherwise known as the Thrusterdyne M23, if anyone who uses the official name, I guess. But yeah, so this is a rip from the Black Ops 6 version, okay? So it's not going to operate like the original from BO2. And as you can see, it is looking absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, working really well with the rest of the map. So there's a lot of things that sort of went into the development of it, probably more so than Ragins actually led on to me. But, you know, we had to sort of factor in the whole vacuuming aspect, being able to vacuum and, you know, pull in the salvage and parts and all that sort of stuff. You know, how it sort of works and functions against the actual enemy types and such. So it's not gonna be exactly like it is in Black Ops 6, but the way that it's been designed is A, as close to as possible within the sort of limits of Black Ops 3, and then B, also we've made tweaks and adjustments to sort of make the gun feel a little bit nicer to use as well. And so for those of you who do get a chance to use this, whether it's either in the Patreon or in the full release of the map, hopefully you guys can sort of see the hard work and the love that was put into it. So one of the things, and you'll have to forgive me because there are certain things that might be like out of pocket for me in terms of like I might not be 100% correct. But as far as I understand, some of the changes that Ragin had made was with regards to like the effects and the lighting and such with the way that the overheating and everything works. So as you can see here, the glow on the barrel or on the front of the gun is blue. And then as you get below 40, it changes color to an orange to symbolize that overheating. Okay, and then you can see there it's obviously sparking and stuff just to show that it is overheated. And now we have to wait for it to go up a little bit just before we can start using again. And if you notice down on the bottom right, you'll see that the count does go back up and it goes from red to white. Okay, so when it's below 40, it's red. When it's above 40, it's white. There is a reason for this. Now, obviously, the first reason is just to show you that A, you are getting low, and that as you get down towards 0, you are going to overheat. The second thing is that there is the alternate firing mode on this one, such as it is in Black Ops 6, which is the, I guess, like the charge shot, if you would. And in order to actually use that, the ammo count, if you would, has to be above 40. Okay, so if it's below 40, it won't work, but as long as it's above 40, you're fine to use it. So I'm going to show you what the second shot looks like here in just a second. Just going to round up some zombies. All right, so we've got a good amount of zombies rounded up here. So if we use the left trigger now, you can see it does a nice charge shot, and it does take the ammo right down to 0 before replenishing itself. So we can do it again, just like that. And yeah, I think it looks really awesome. Like, I'm really stoked with how this has turned out. A lot of the feedback from all the other people that I've sort of showcased this to so far, like, again, they agree as well. Like, this is really awesome. And it's kind of surreal to be playing Black Ops 3 and have this gun in it. You know, I know that the jet gun was in Black Ops 2, although it was very unimpressive. But yeah, it feels very surreal to have this particular map in the Black Ops 3. And particularly, it feels very nice to have it in this map because it just, I don't know, it feels more like fleshed out now. The other thing that we have implemented is the Vermin. All right, so the Vermin from Black Ops 6, that has now been implemented to replace the Parasite rounds. So we will get to a round here shortly to showcase that. But I just wanted to sort of call that out in advance. But there are a few things that still need to be tweaked and added. So Raging is working on those things, and that'll be added over time once obviously we get around to it. But for all other, purposes, it's all functioning as it needs to. It's all playable, and nothing sort of game breaking or anything like that. But yeah, really, really happy with how this has sort of turned out so far. And I keep saying that. I hope you guys are liking it too. Here's an example of the salvage being vacuumed up. One thing is though, is that with the vacuum feature, the salvage doesn't automatically get picked up, so it just drops to your feet, as does all of the sort of like, I guess, pick-upables, if you would. But the power-ups obviously will get pulled into you, and you can hit them straight away. And so I think what we'll do is I'm just going to pack-a-punch the gun as well. And there's no other sort of real changes here aside from the camo. The camo is still an in-progress camo, but the significant changes is the overheating replenishment or whatever. It's a lot quicker, and the effects do also change a little bit. So if we look at the barrel effects, okay, it's gone from a blue to purple, and you can also see a little bit of electricity popping off on it. And then as it goes to overheating, it changes to a red and it gets a little bit more aggressive. The other thing is that rather than it overheating at 40, it does actually give you a little bit more leeway, and it begins to overheat at 30 instead. Okay, so it's a little bit quicker to replenish before you can actually use the charge shot. The charge shot is also a lot more powerful, and again, the effects have just got a little bit of an adjustment there to replicate, or not replicate, but to reflect the upgrade. I do believe the radius is bigger as well. I could be wrong on that, or the area of effect. But feeling very, very nice. So yeah, so whilst we wait for the Vermin round, one other thing with the jet gun. So a few people have asked on YouTube and in my Discord server, they've asked how this weapon is going to be obtained. Now, the primary method of obtaining this gun is going to be through a buildable, very much like in Liberty Falls. The difference being though is that once it's built for good. So essentially, if for whatever reason you build it, you obtain the gun, and then either you trade it out at the box or you die out and you lose the gun, you can actually go back and pick up the gun again at the same buildable location. So that buildable location will be up in the workshop upstairs. But only one player will be able to get it from that location. Okay, so it is a special weapon, as special weapons are. They're generally intended for one person at any given time. That is subject to change though, so pending feedback from the community and the majority, I'll see. But that is currently where my mindset is at with it. So I intend for it to be one weapon. A one-person weapon. I do not have any intentions for it to be in the box at this current stage, with the exception of it'll be in the box currently right now until we get the buildable quest implemented. That again may change, so I may put it in the box, but as it currently stands, I don't intend to. But again, we'll see what the community thinks and how they feel about it. I'll probably also bounce some ideas around with the other devs on the project and just see what their thoughts are, because as a creator, it's always nice to get input from people who sort of understand the process of building maps and such. So we'll see. And so we do have the Vermin round now. We do have the fog comes in, just like in Liberty Falls. And I just want to give you guys a second just to sort of see how they are in the game. So they do function pretty much exactly like they would in Black Ops 6. The only things that we've sort of not cut necessarily, but the only things we haven't sort of really included is some of the traversals, like, there's less of a need for the Vermin to climb walls and such, but they do jump down and whatnot. We do need to still get a few traversals in for like mantling, but otherwise, the majority of the map doesn't really require all the traversals, so we did take some creative liberties to cut certain aspects of it. But yeah, the Vermin are in. And then once the round completes, the fog does disperse back to normal as well. I do have the spawn count for the vermin quite low at the moment. When it was given to me by Raging, it was very high. It was very reminiscent of the original like Liberty Falls days, where there was just like a fuck ton of vermin coming for you. And I know like the majority of the community never liked that, so I have dropped it down. But I am pending feedback from you guys as to whether or not I should up it a little bit more. They operate similar to dogs is the only thing. So whatever the count is per individual, it's basically going to multiply by how many players there are. So, you know, say you have 10 for solo. If you have 4 people, it's going to be 40, which I think is just a bit too much. So you do have to like find that balance between, okay, what's a reasonable amount for, you know, a solo person, but then also what is a reasonable amount for when you're playing co-op or with more than one person, basically. So I'll wait for you guys to give me the feedback. Let me know what you think. I'm not too worried about whether there's not that many on the special round, because we have actually included them spawning randomly in just like typical rounds, just like in Black Ops 6. So you will get to experience vermin as you sort of progress through the map as well. And they'll just spawn randomly, and that'll increase as the rounds progress. But yeah, that is pretty much really it in terms of these features. Just a quick video. Like I said, this version 1.8 is now currently live. So if you are interested in checking it out, the early access is currently available by my Patreon, exclusively to Prime and Elite members. So if you're subscribed already, obviously you can go over there and head over there and check it out. If you're not subscribed and you'd like to, by all means feel free to. Absolutely not mandatory at this current stage, aside from if you want to access it early. But all the support is absolutely appreciated. I appreciate the love that everyone continues to show the map and myself as well, with regards to the project. You know, it's definitely a significant motivator to keep things going. And now that we are sort of back in motion for implementing a lot of these things, I'm hoping to have significant updates coming out sort of, you know, across the coming months. So I guess just a bit of like a bit of insight as to what's coming. So I'm currently working on 2 secret locations in the map. I'm going to leave them sort of under wraps for the moment. Here's a random vermin here. Yeah, I'm going to leave them under wraps for the time being. But two secret locations, inclusive of Easter eggs to get there. They'll feature, you know, rewards and such in those locations as well, or as a result of those locations. So they're currently my next I guess focus point. The one that I can talk about is the bank vault. So we're still working on the bank vault, but that'll be one of the next key areas. Or what we're working on is having the bank vault open, and then you'll be able to access the dark ether area of the map in that section. Okay, so that is coming along with two other secret locations sort of things. But yeah, otherwise that wraps us up for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you have enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, leave a comment. It does all help my channel to grow. And if you'd like to see more content like this, you'll all know how it works. Click on that subscribe button down below and keep up to date with all my posted videos. Until then, I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.